Hello, students. My name is Professor Morris, and I am one of the presenters today. And I just want to go over Autodesk Inventor with you, which is really a precursor to using a 3D printer, or other CAD software packages as well. But if you really want to take 3D printing to the next level, I would encourage you at some point in your career to consider taking a CAD course. But today is just a presentation. You're not actually going to be using the CAD software, but I'm going to demonstrate it to you just the same. So on the desktop, I double clicked on an icon called Autodesk Inventor, and it brought me to this website right here, or excuse me, to this page. I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to select New. And I'm going to select English because I'm using English units. It is a standard IPT part. Well, IPT is the extension which stands for Inventor Part File. I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to select Create. Okay, it's going to take a second for it to come up. Now, before you can make a solid model of any kind using a CAD software package, you normally have to start off with a 2D sketch or a closed profile, if you will. So I'm going to go to Start 2D Sketch, Start 2D Sketch, and notice what comes up. If I hover with my mouse, this is the XY plane. If I hover over this one, this is the YZ plane. If I hover over this, this is the XZ plane. And 99% of the time, I usually select the frontal plane, which is the XY plane, because I can reorient my geometry however I wish after I create it. So we're going to make a keychain today, and I'm going to click on rectangle, and I'm going to click on rectangle 2-point center. And what you see here down the lower left-hand corner is you see this symbol here. This is the y-axis direction. This is the x-axis, and the z-axis is coming out from the screen. Well, that's exactly what this is. This vertical line here is the y-axis, and the horizontal line is the x-axis. So I'm going to move my cursor right here, and you will see that it turns green. I'm going to click with my left mouse button. I'm going to drag out. I'm not going to click anything or enter anything yet. I'm just going to drag or move the mouse and drag it outward. And at this point, it's wanting some dimensions for my rectangle. I'm going to type in, let's see, I'm going to measure this real quick to make sure I measure it correctly. Yes, I have. So we're going to make this 2.5. And I'm going to hit the tab button, and I'm going to type in 1. And then I'm going to hit the enter button. And then I'm going to do a right click with the mouse and select OK. So what I have created is a 2D sketch. It's not 3D yet, right? It's a closed profile. It's 2.5 inches this way, and it's 1 inch this way. I'm going to select Finish Sketch. And what happens is it takes the two-dimensional sketch I have and puts it into what we call an isometric view. Now, on the mouse, I can rotate the scroll wheel to zoom in and out, and I can also hold the scroll wheel down and move my mouse to pan. All right, I need to give this some depth, so I'm going to go here, and I'm going to select Extrude. And this is going to allow me to add some depth to my rectangle here. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my, if you notice here, this arrow is pointing in the positive Z direction. I don't want to go in this direction for this geometry or this part that we're designing. I want to go in the negative Z direction. And I want to make the thickness 0.125, which is 1/8 of an inch. Okay. So I'm going to select OK. All right. Now, up here, we have what we call a view cube. So I can rotate my view however I wish. This is the front view of it. I can click on these arrows to rotate it around. I can click on these arrows here as well. So I'm going to leave it in the isometric view. And what we're going to do now, again, we're designing a keychain. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put rounded corners here. See how these are sharp corners? And I'm going to use what they call the fillet command. Click on fillet and click on fillet again. And it's going to ask me what radius I want these corners to be. Well, I'm going to leave it at 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to select these 4 corners with my mouse. I have selected all of them and I'm going to select OK. Now what I'd like to do is I would like to create a pocket here on this part. So which is a depression. I'm going to create a pocket here and then I'm going to put some letters and a hole so that we can put a key ring through it. Start 2D sketch, start 2D sketch, and click on this face. Now, this is project geometry. Project geometry. If I click on this, what it does, it highlights the outer edge of the part. The reason why I did that for is because I want to offset the border or the edge inward. So I'm going to go to offset, click on this, and I'm going to drag it in. See this? I can move it inward like this. So I'm going to move it in 0.0625, enter. All right. I'm going to do a right click. OK. Now it says, Mr. Morris, what are you doing here? Well, what I want to do is I want to make a pocket here. So I'm going to finish the sketch. And I'm going to extrude. Now notice if I click in here, it's going to extrude it this way. I don't want to extrude it in the positive Z direction because I want to create I want to subtract material. Again, I want to subtract material and I'm going to do it half of the thickness I used before. So we're going to use 1/16 of an inch, which is 0.0625. I'm going to go flip it this way and select OK. All right, now we're almost done actually. I'm going to go to start 2D sketch, start 2D sketch. Notice how we do this every time we create a new sketch. I'm going to click on this surface and I'm going to go to the text option, click on text, and I'm going to click anywhere on that face. And I've been told that the acronym that I'm going to use here is eADA. eADA. Okay. And that stands for Aviation and Drone Academy is what this stands for. Aviation and Drone Academy. I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to make it 0.5. Select OK. Now, do a right click. OK. Notice that it's not centered on my, hold down your left mouse button and you can somewhat center it. I'm going to do it by eye here. All right. So I'm going to finish the sketch. Now what I'm going to do is I want to extrude these letters. Go to emboss. Click on these letters. And we're going to go, I want to give a thickness of 0.0625. And we're going to come outward. Okay. All right. So now we have almost done. We're going to add a hole here so we can put our key ring through it. All right. So start 2D sketch, start 2D sketch. I'm going to click on this face. Hang on just a second. I'm going to hit the escape, try that again. Go to start 2D sketch, start 2D sketch. Click on this face. And I'm going to go to circle, circle, center point. And I'm going to click right here. And I want to make this circle, let's see here. 3 divided by 16ths in diameter. So 3/16 in diameter. Enter. Do a right click. OK. Now we're going to dimension this. And we're going to make this 3/16 as well. Enter. Now we want to make sure this hole goes through the part. Now we need to add one more dimension. And that's half inch, which is exactly half of 1 inch, right? So we're good. We're good there. So finish the sketch. I'm going to zoom out, go to extrude. Notice it's going to select the last profile that we did, the last sketch that we did. But notice I'm going to flip it. See, when I flip it, it goes the other way. It actually subtracts the material. Make sure this icon is pressed in. Select OK. All right. Now, over here, we need to save this file. Save as eADA. I'm going to now give some material designation for. So right here is the name of the file. I'm going to right click on that, go to iProperties, and we're going to go to physical, and we need to pick a type material. I'm going to pick gold. I like the color gold. Apply, close. All right. Or this could be any color you wish. For the most part, if you come up here, let me move this out of the way. Come up here and arrow down. Sorry, you can change the color of this. Olive green. Orange, red. Again, you can change the color of your part. Green polish. That's different. There's many to choose from here. I'll leave it dark green. And I'm going to file and save this again. It wants a different name. I'll just call it Keychain 2. Save. Now I'm going to do a file. I'm going to export this. This is the most important part because you have to 3D print it. In order to 3D print it, it has to be an STL file. So I select export, CAD format, and then you come over here and you're going to select STL and select save. Now, that part is what you need to download to the 3D printer is the STL file. One more time, you go to File, Export, CAD format, come down here and make sure you select STL and save and say yes. So any any CAD package for the most part, especially parametric solid modeling CAD software packages, you should be able to save as a STL file that you can download to a 3D printer. And so that's it. We got our STL file. Now we just have to load that into the 3D printer. Again, I thank you for your time. And at this time, we'll continue on with the presentation. Thank you.